Bawo, como tu estás? What is good, my people? Today we're going to be going through the 7 levels of K-pop. I don't know how far into 7 levels that we'll get because this video is about 17 minutes long, and with my commentary, probably like a 40-minute video. So what I'll do is, depending upon you guys' interest, break up the video into different segments, as well as make sure that we shout out our guy, Internet's Nathan. This video was dropped by him about 6 months ago, so make sure you show our guy some love. But before we get into the video though, my people, do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I appreciate you. Any questions, let me know down in those comments below. Without further ado, let's get into it, my people. Dollar.
Every level of K-pop. Explained.
Level 1 Trash.
These are groups that have been created just for the shock factor alone, just to get people talking, trying to profit off of K-pop becoming mainstream. From a college project like EXP Edition,
a Korean woman who wanted to study what makes K-pop K-pop as a part of an art project at Columbia University.
Interesting.
She called the group EXP Edition, EXP being for experiment, filled it with non-Koreans, and raised $30,000 on Kickstarter.
Obviously, I had no experience in running an entertainment company.
All right.
to a Korean.
But they're not that bad. I mean, like, they're very generic, very boring. But you can argue that, you know, well, I guess this is level 1, the trash segment, you know, for those types of people. But I personally thought that, like, Baby Monster was level 1. However, I've grown to freaking love them. I have a whole little series on the channel called Becoming a Monster, where, like, I did a deep dive into the story, and it made me appreciate them more, right? I think that in order for the cream to rise to the top, right, you gotta just slug through the garbage, the trash, right? That's just what it is. What it is.
People's dream of being an idol. And under all of that, in the darkest depths of this dumpster, we find this plague to humankind.
The heart of Korea.
And honestly, I don't think anyone has put out their music on purpose before. Okay, let's get out of here before we catch something.
How far down the line are you being able to speak Korean?
You know, I've been learning quite a lot. Like, let me introduce myself to you, Phil. 안녕하세요, 올림입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. 사랑해요. So that is hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I love you.
How do you go from hi, it's nice to meet you, it's my first time meeting you, I love you? Like, where's the in between there, my guy? Like, bro, that's some man. Some people are just doing too much. But it's just so crazy how, like, she the lady who was the researcher put together a K-pop group that was of non-Koreans, because, like, that's a hot topic right now. We have, like, these global girl groups that are, you know, mixed race groups, or as well as you know, not from Korea, becoming the topic of conversation. And I feel as though, like, in 2026, K-pop has competition outside of Korea, and I think the biggest contenders is the Southeast Asian market, because, like, there are just so many, like, talented groups there that unfortunately, for whatever reason, are just underserved. And I feel as though with the rise of artists like Nona, Galdive's not really K-pop, but, like, they're just artists that are just putting a bigger spotlight, you know, on that market. And, you know, people are starting to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, like, what we're getting from K-pop is what we could be getting more of that, right? There's been no innovation. Well, there has been innovation in terms of changes of instrumentals, but, like, the landscape is pretty much has been the same, right? And they need competition because they've been the biggest fish in their sea for the longest of time. And competition is very, very good, my people. Like, it you know, iron sharpens iron. If K-pop is meant to be the creme de la creme, the standard of the bar, like, they'll stay there, right? If they're not meant to, you know, be here, then unfortunately, like, the competition will surpass them. Like, and we as listeners, we get great music, so I ain't mad at it. Like, competition is good for us, friend. Like, don't be afraid of competition, right?
Level 2, kind of K-pop.
This is where you find your global groups. They typically have
See, our guy's ahead of me. A guy knows what I'm thinking.
a mix of group members from different nationalities other than
I was just
Korean,
talking about
which
that.
makes them a hit or miss when it comes to their popularity in Korea. But outside of Korea, people show them all kinds of love.
Hey. Hate that song, but it's
other
catchy.
music markets like Japan, China, the US, and well, the whole world. So yeah, these groups
XG.
aren't K-pop by definition, but K-pop fans still know who they are because these groups have either been made by well-known Korean K-pop companies or they were formed, trained, and promoted in a similar way real K-pop groups are formed, trained, and promoted. Consider them more like your distant cousin from another country. Like you guys share the same DNA, but they're not really like you at all. But sometimes, these global groups even put K-pop groups to shame with the effort in their performances, music videos, and the music. They will catch you off
XG,
guard.
where my alphas at?
머리 밀어. 진짜 진짜 완전 밀었어.
Bro, Kokona did her,
The skill
man.
is there with hype
I love
choreography.
Kokona, man. Manal, my
crazy
favorite, and then
bar.
Nada's my favorite. Hey.
So don't get under my skin.
That's
They
XG,
can
my
and
people.
will just do it better than the real K-pop groups out there. Yeah, I said it. This is probably the most unique and diverse level in this whole thing.
So I did a reaction to Girl Set today. I wasn't sure if they were K-pop or global girl group, but because they were singing in English, I thought they were, a global girl group, and it turns out that they are. I'm not familiar with Wavy, Nizu. I am familiar with Anteam. I have a few reactions on my other channel, which I'll link at the end of this point. You guys want to check it out. Have a few reactions of them. They are an amazing boy group. And then XG, man, XG, like where my alphas at? Like I keep it a stack. And Cat's Eye, I think Cat's Eye belongs in level 1, especially if Manal's not in there. Like they are trash, my people. But listen though, I think that the reason why these global groups do well outside of Korea is because like a lot of people are able to see themselves in them, right? In K-pop, we can argue this if you want in the comments below, but you're gonna, depending upon what side you're on, you're going to be wrong, right? K-pop borrows from U.S. popular music, especially that sort of like hip hop, R&B, popular music, right? I think what makes the difference between a global girl group and a sort of American pop group is like the idol culture surrounding the idol culture outside of them, just doing music. I think that is a difference between a US pop group and a sort of global group, right? Because like they have the the music, because again it originates from the US, right? It originates from a certain culture of music here, right? They already have that because they're from the country, right? So they don't have that. That's why the music gets a little bit different. It's because like it's ours, right? However, what is not ours is the idol culture. That is uniquely belongs to, I would say, it started off in Japan, and I believe that's how like I believe J-pop actually influenced K-pop idol culture. They took what that was from in Japan and brought it over to Korea, coupled with bringing over the U.S. sound and combining Japan's idol culture with the U.S.'s pop culture to get K-pop. Oh, that's the X, but to get K-pop. You feel me? Yeah. Let me run back a little bit. We're gonna continue.
Better than the real K-pop groups out there. Yeah,
I already told you why that's the case.
This is probably the most unique and diverse level in this whole thing. And that may be because that is what the future of K-pop is gonna be like.
Level 3, one-hit wonders.
These groups are exactly that. One-hit wonders. Had one mega smash hit song that took over that year it was released, and quickly, as soon as they saw the spotlight, they fell off. K-pop groups like these made something out of nothing. They had $5 in a dream. Sure, they released some music after their big hit, but they never reached that peak that they experienced before. The thing is, a lot of these groups that are one-hit wonders, I was rooting for them to continue on, to continue to release the music that got them popular in the first place, for them to have a long career. Some of you may consider Psy as a one-hit wonder, but his song Gangnam Style went so astronomically viral, I don't think he even thought he could hit that altitude again, even if he tried. So when I say one-hit wonder, I mean groups like Brave Girls,
I don't know who they
Crayon
are.
Pop,
I don't know who they are.
Momoland, Pentagon, Next One, and Weekly. Almost all of these groups had a chance to put their names in K-pop history, but just couldn't follow up for whatever reason. And
the reason is because there's nothing unique about them, right? The industry, K-pop industry, churns out these groups left and right, my people, and unless they have something about them that is unique, or they are so the big difference, as I mentioned about US pop and K-pop, is idol culture, right? A lot of the times the success of these groups are tied to the personalities, right? If the ladies are not or men or people in between are not sort of widely accepted, right, the group will just die, right? All these labels pump money into marketing and whatnot and boosting views, but at the end of the day, like, if the idol culture, right, is not elevating the group, that's what keeps them there, then no matter how much money you put in boosting the music, like, this has to be here and they have to meet here, right? If this is above here, they're gonna axe that group and move on to the next person, right? And it's like so much pressure outside of the music for a lot of these groups to be these perfect beings that their fans want, that you start to lose yourself, right? You hear so many stories of which I actually dropped a video today on the darkest stories in K-pop history. I only did one though, and that story was dark, my people, very, very dark. So go into that one with caution. But you just hear so many stories of people losing themselves because, like, they don't know who they are, because, like, they are who other people see them as, right? So, like, it's just a lot going into being a K-pop artist, man, because, like, it's not just being a good artist, right? You have to, again, be that idol. And that's just too much pressure. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I'd rather just be myself. You like me, you don't. You feel
Next
me?
One and Weekly.
That's
Almost
how you
all
should
of
live,
these
my
groups
friend.
had a chance to
In
put
my
their
opinion.
names in K-pop history, but just couldn't follow up for whatever reason. And most of the time, that reason was their own company. Crayon Pop had $300 in their pockets, bought scooter helmets, and went to the nearest amusement park, jumped around, and made magic. I remember Momoland and Pentagon released Song of the Year songs in the same year.
That's a cool song. Hey. This is a good one,
and
too.
Sadly, all of the groups that find themselves in this level never got an opportunity to reach the next level.
All right, my people, so I'm going to stop it at level 4. Well, we stopped at level 3. However, if you'd like for me to give my commentary on 4 and beyond, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy to do so, but only if you want me to, my people. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.